down, they've got no choice but to attack.
Oh, yeah, you've got to attack. And like I said, just wear away at them. Try and kick 4 more goals to them. Cut it down by 20, 24 points at three-quarter time, and then you can finish off in the last quarter.
Third term at the MCG. The Swans lead by 45 points. Goods will go in the ruck against White. White got the tap down, but it's sharked. And the Swans will go forward towards the forward 50. Big pack of players crash in. Nathan Brown spun out of trouble, gave it to O'Loughlin. Chance for the Swans. Schauble. Ouch. Dream start for Sydney in this third term. Another break out of the centre, get the ball forward. Numbers just streaming inside the 50, and the Melbourne defence are under siege.
I don't think we can underplay the impact that Adam Goods is having in this setup. And again, the tackling of the Swans forward has been brilliant. Conversely, up the other in the Demons, not Andrew Schauble, not a great goal kicker, but he will contest the ball, always has a go, and he loves that. Very happy with that result.
So Schauble, his first goal for the afternoon. His 10th for the season and the 32nd for his career. The margin 51 points. Goods and White go again. White got the tap down, but again Sydney pick it off. This time it's Creswell. Swings it wide towards Williams. Fumbled, had some time and space. Takes Powell on by foot. Runs away from Johnston. Goes inside 50 and hits O'Keefe on the chest. Darren Creswell had 16 possessions, Kirk 16, Williams 15. The three of them have been so damaging this afternoon.
Well, Creswell and Williams again having an impact on that standard of play. And Ryan O'Keefe, been a goal kicker for the Swans over the last month, normally finishes very well.
So from just inside the 50.
No exception.
Tumbling kick, but it's got the carry, clears the pack, and another one to the Swans. O'Keefe has 2, and 2 goals in the opening 2 minutes to Sydney. And the margin out to 57 points.
Well, you hate to say the game might be past us here, but that is not the start the D's want. Now they're just going to have to work twice as hard. Here's Williams. Pretty ordinary tackling on this occasion. You know, for a man to turn around like that when he's running away from goal and then to kick it that easily, that is a lack of pressure from the Demon midfielders. And as I said, Ryan O'Keefe loves to convert. Great shot on goal.
So 2 minutes gone in the third term. Sydney have had 6 possessions and kicked 2 goals. Melbourne have touched the ball just once.
51 points, 57 points now to the Sydney Swans. It's been a great start to this third term. 14-387 plays 4-6-30. And Ryan O'Keefe has got 2 goals. A couple of weeks ago, he had 10 goals in his career. Then he booted 5 goals against the Kangaroos. He's gone from strength to strength. Wayne Swash is down the boundary line.
Just quickly, the benches for the third quarter: Bolton, Sunquist, McPherson, Nix for the Swans, and Melbourne, Godfrey, Robinson, Funky and Williams.
Thanks, Wayne, as we see Adam Goods all tied up in that tackle. Kirk on screen, number 31, 16 possessions today. Creswell 16, 15 to Williams. Fosdyke 11, Hall 11 and 5 goals. Big stats for the Swans. Creswell, speak of the devil, comes away. Seymour, it was a look away handball. Great play. Adam Goods runs to 50 and kicks a goal. The Swans are hot. It was a wonderful handball from Seymour. It was a look away, and Adam Goods, so versatile, so adaptable, so quick around the ground for a big man. Did it beautifully, Tony.
It was, well, this is the ability he's got over just a normal ruckman. His ability to run forward, his athleticism. Jeff White was still back in the centre circle then after that contest from half back. And, gee, he's an exciting player. The big fella Mott's out of the side at the moment, KB. He's just added that extra flexibility around the middle of the ground. He is like a ruck rover playing as a ruckman.
2 goals to Adam Goods. And can you believe it? The Demons fighting for a spot in the top 8, trail by 63 points. Well, I spoke to Guy Rigoni at half-time. He did say that this year they trailed West Coast, they trailed Brisbane and Port Adelaide, and then they came with a rush after half-time. But today, after half-time, it's the Swans who have come out. They've been smoking. Uze from inside the centre square goes wide, trying to find Bruce, trying to paddle the ball along. Leo Barry just shows his foot skills, puts the ball back over the line for a toss back in.
And KB, you've got to give credit to Paul Roos and his match committee. They have targeted 2 players. David Neitz, trying to outnumber him every time that they get numbers back. And the other one is Travis Johnson. They put a lot of time into him. Brett Kirk's got the job now, as Travis Johnson's had a great year and can give Melbourne run through the middle of the ground. They haven't had that today.
So Goods takes up that front position. I think the tackling today of Sydney has been fantastic. And look at that desperation there from Kelly. Doesn't quite hit a target, but he gains 20 metres. Captain Courageous Kelly on screen has returned to something like his best form this year. A couple of seasons, debilitating injuries, and again Goods with that front position. Swans with numbers around the ball. Williams has had a stellar year, and again the ball is forced over line for a boundary throw in.
I think Paul Kelly, KB, he hasn't had a lot of numbers as in possessions today, but he's found himself around the middle of the ground on ball, which for the last few years he's either played half back, half forward, mainly due to lack of injuries and lack of fitness.
So where to from here for the Demons? Fosdyke wins it away from the stoppage. Brown comes across for Melbourne, gets upended rugby style by Seymour. Play on's the call. Wheatley ran over the top of it. Chance for O'Keefe, couldn't get the hands free. And gang tackled. We'll have a ball up 45 metres out.
Gee, I don't like this tackling. I'm glad that he didn't push him into the ground. We'd have to have a look at that as another incident.
David Neitz back there in defence as well.
Kirk got up, third man up, tapped into the path of Williams. There is Neitz. Takes Williams down with body pressure. And Fosdyke can't keep it alive.
It's a dangerous tackle, isn't it, that, Jason? And I don't think Seymour followed through it. Well, that's nearly putting up the white flag, I think, with David Neitz playing as a defender.
So a throw in. Hall will go in the ruck against White. White tried to tap it down. Hall got it at ground level. Wins the ball, just shows it. Dishes off a handball to Kelly. Kelly squares it up. Goods will come over the top. O'Loughlin there as well at ground level. Kennelly turns inside. There's plenty of time. That's not 15. O'Keefe taken in the tackle by Woden. Dished it off. Kennelly again to Saddington. He goes inside 50. Touched off the boot. O'Loughlin gathers. Look away handball. Intercepted by White for the Demons. They're working overtime in defence. Bizzle trying to create something, just held onto it. Looped the handball to Powell, but Goods has got a hold of him. Here comes a turnover, and Sydney have the numbers again. Fosdyke to Kelly. Kelly will go looking for O'Loughlin. Neitz will come over the top and just taps it to the line. Melbourne defenders just under enormous pressure every time they get it. You can see they're trying to create something by use of hand, but they just can't find a loose option.
The problem is it's starting from the middle of the ground. The Melbourne midfield has just been dominated by the Swans, and in the ruck, Goods has had the best of White.
So throw in on the 50 for the Swans. Powell got the handball to Ward. High kick again, numbers 2-on-1 favouring Sydney. Saddington goes back and takes the mark. Just backward to the centre circle. Plays on. Tries to step around Vardy. Great tackle from Vardy. Forces the turnover, but missed with the handball. Went looking for Bruce. It's tidied up by Fixter. High kick inside 50. Numbers again with Melbourne. And Neitz, for the first time this afternoon, gets to take an uncontested mark. Unfortunately for the Demons, it's in the defensive 50.
And then turns it over.
Went looking for Lamb. And Barry Hall having a wonderful afternoon. He's got it 60 metres from goal.
This is just the area where Barry, a little bit upset with some of the treatment from Lamb there, but you just don't want to lose the plot. Had a great afternoon.
Hall spots a lead.
Great kick.
Great kick, great lead, and again the Swans managed to find open space inside their 50, something that Melbourne just have not been able to do this afternoon.
Well, Andrew Shawville will present himself. He's a great competitor, and Melbourne make a few changes. Travis Johnson, that man off the ground, hasn't had a major impact today. Leoncelli back on. Travis Johnson, 8 possessions for the game.
So here's Shawville. He's kicked 1 in this quarter already. From 45 metres out. Kick on its way. Just fading off to the left-hand side for a minor score. 1-1 to Andrew Shawville. But it's been all Sydney in this third term in the early stages. Possessions 26-11 in favour of the Swans. Inside 50s 8-1. And the Swans have added 3 unanswered goals.
That was the one move I don't think that Neil Danaher wanted to make, and that was Neitz into defence, because he's booted 44 goals over the last 8 weeks and 71 goals for the season, and he knows that if they're to win this game, they've got to kick some goals, and he's the man to do it. But just the force of numbers now by the Sydney Swans, 94 to 30, so 64 points. And Melbourne have just turned over the ball. We saw in the middle of the ground before, Vardy not hitting a target. Foot skills have been pretty poor today. This is a bad afternoon for Melbourne, but it's a great one for the Swans. They've got a number of players. Williams has been an absolute star, but they've got a number of players in the second half of the season. This is one of them. Fosdyke, big improver. Kirk, a big improver. O'Keefe, a big improver. Ty Kennelly, a big improver. Things are looking good for the Swans, and this man is killing them. Big bad Barry. He's got him mesmerised on the forward line. He's kicked 5. 3 of those came in the second term, 2 in the first quarter. He's directly in front. He'll be shooting from right on 50. And he might have had a bit of a break for 5 weeks, but he's come back bigger and better.
Well, KB, if you've got Neitz down there, you might as well go and play on Barry Hall, because there's no use having Chris Lamb, who's going for his 6th goal now. Just play Neitz on him.
Leans back, unloads, leaves nothing behind, and hammers it home. 6 goals to Barry Hall. They can't stop him.
Well, they're going to make some change. Well, Melbourne, this game's gone now, but Jeff White, I think he has to take the ruck work in the centre corridor. We can see the build-up. All those players you mentioned, KB, this is just out red. Now, Neitz is there as a loose man in defence. It should never happen that you mark the ball like that between 2 Melbourne defenders. And as I said, Neitz may as well go and play on Hall, because Lamb just cannot do the job at the moment.
So Barry Hall, 6 goals straight this afternoon. David Neitz has been sent down back to stop the hemorrhaging. Percentage still could play an important part in Melbourne's season. At the moment, the margin's out to 70 points. And widening. Williams towards half forward. Wheatley over the top. At ground level, Lee and Shelley. Advantage paid to the Demons. Brown to Uze. Uze streams away, has a couple of bounces. Runs to 55. Runs to 52 metres out. Sets sail for home. It's going right to the line. And touched. Russell Robertson, I think, was the man who touched it. In fact, there's a free kick and it's going to the Demons.
To Jolly holding the jumper.
So Adam Uze took it on himself to run through the lines and thump it long to the goal line. We see here on replay, Jolly down there jostling at the back
Andrew
with Dunkley.
Well, they both had a piece of jump on both occasions. Each holding the jumper, and it looked like Andrew Dunkley, the umpire only saw him holding Jolly's.
6 goals, 1 for the season, Darren Jolly. From point blank range, tight angle. Just got to think his way through this one. And he does. Jolly gets his first, Melbourne their 5th. And they reduce the margin back to 64 points. And Tony, as I mentioned, percentage is all important. That's why Neitz is down back.
Yeah, it's important, but I just can't see that, Jason, why Neitz would be there unless you're going to have an attacking move to try and kick some goals and create at the other end. Great carrying the ball by Uze, nearly a goal to himself, but that free kick could have gone either way. Russell Robinson nearly took the mark. Well thought out, though, by the big Jolly. Gave himself some time and showed a lot of poise.
Neitz has gone back to full forward now with Dunkley picking him up. So it may well be that David Neitz just took himself down to the back line. I think he has the authority from Neil Danaher to do that.
He might have done that.
Sydney by 64 points as Goods comes charging in against White.
Yeah, free kick to White. Interference in the ruck work.
So White goes wide, finds Wheatley. Well, Melbourne has shown the capacity to come back from adversity. There's Neitz on the forward line. He's just kicked the 1 goal today. Came late in the second quarter. Bruce. They've got a lot of fighting spirit, Melbourne. But Sydney today have been very, very good. They trail by 64 points. This would be one of the biggest comebacks in the history of the game if they can get up and win. Wheatley's a huge kick. A big kick. And that is a big goal. So Paul Wheatley has just hammered that goal home. And who knows, maybe that could be a spark for Melbourne. From right on 50. Super kick by Paul Wheatley. So the Demons 6-6-42 now trail 16-4-100. So they trail by 58 points. And that man on screen is known for being a thumping kick. So all of a sudden Melbourne, with a couple of quick goals, just might lift the spirits as White will come charging in against Adam Goods again. He might be inspired. Seymour, loose across half back to Crouch. Hands and knees. Always seem to have a free running player, the Sydney Swans, and Leo Barry does it well from half back. Finds Creswell to Fosdyke, needs good hands. Wobbles the ball. Towards O'Loughlin was the target. Wheatley tried to shovel the ball out. Woden, good hands. Really fumbles Shane Woden. Walsh comes away from half back. Sydney Swans, they chase hard. Under pressure, Powell just waving the ball like a wand. And that's called pressure. Pressure by Sydney, getting numbers around the ball as Matthews goes wide looking for Kelly. Traps it in front of Leon Kelly. Casual bounce by Kelly, runs away from Leon Kelly. O'Loughlin couldn't take it, thumped away, taken by Green. Quick hands to Woden across half back. Leon Kelly slow to react. Green's caught by the leg. No free kick. Powell had it and lost it. Kelly goes to ground. O'Keefe. So's Big Bad Barry's there as well. O'Keefe was looking for a free kick. He'll get a ball up. Now, have a look at this. I think we can say that he's been legged. But not paid. Ball up 65 metres out from Sydney's goal. Williams goes short. He's looking for O'Keefe. The danger man's booted a couple of goals. Woden, the tackler, looks up in despair. He'll get a ball up. So Adam Goods is taking a breather. It's been a mighty player today, Adam Goods. Matthew Nix. Just over 10 minutes left in this third term. And Melbourne can finish somewhere from the top 3 to 10th. Williams, great vision. Creswell should kick a goal. Bangs it through.
Well, they've had their own ball, those two players involved there, Paul Williams and Darren Creswell. Just at that ball up, Paul Williams ran forward of the play. You just see it here, Creswell to Williams and the old 1-2. Get it back. Could have handballed out a bit wider. Loves to kick a goal, Darren Creswell. We've seen him kick a few after the siren. But Darren Creswell and Paul Williams have dominated around the midfield. They have totally obliterated the midfield of the Demons today.
So Williams and Creswell, 20 possessions apiece. Two of their three most experienced players. That's the number 1 most experienced, Paul Kelly. He's having a spell. The margin back out to 64 points. Uze dragged down in the tackle. White tapped it to the advantage of Walsh. To half forward. Bruce has got 2 to beat. Needs to take the mark. Can't do so. Needs to get it to the line and does. Throw in about 70 metres out from the Melbourne goal. As Creswell comes to the bench for a well-earned rest, he'll be replaced by Brett Kirk, who's also been fantastic. He had 16 possessions in the game so far.
Jason, have a look at Tate Kennelly's build. It looks like a perfect build for the modern-day footballer. 6'3", fine, can run very quick and great stamina.
Leon Kelly got it to Bruce. He went for the handball to Walsh. Was optimistic at best. And Sydney again, just with physical pressure around the ball. Numbers at the contest. Force a ball up.
Tony, Paul Williams' tackling has been fantastic today. Was he a good tackler at Collingwood?
Always a good tackler. Could run people down with his speed, KB.
Seymour gathers the loose ball from the stoppage. Here is Williams. Possession number 21 for him. Towards the wing. The bounce beat O'Loughlin. Bizzle gathers for Melbourne. Twists and turns. Not sure where to go. Gets the call from Johnston out wide. His kick went looking for Walsh. McPherson got a fingertip to it. It's picked up by Ward. Ward's 55 metres out, goes across goal and finds the juggling Wheatley. So Paul Wheatley, 13 possessions, 4 marks and a goal this afternoon. A chance to go back and kick his second.
Well, he started in defence. Last week he played up forward and was a great target for the D's. It looks like he's pushed forward in this third quarter. As KB said, a thumping kick. And the one thing about Paul Williams, KB, is a natural tackler. He came from Tasmania. A lot of people say if you come from Queensland, might have that rugby background.
Correct.
Or New South Wales.
Here's Wheatley. From just inside the 50. Well, it sails through post high. He's clapping it. Teammates aren't so sure, but it is a goal.
Tell you what, Tony, he might be the longest kick in the competition, Paul Wheatley.
He can kick
I
it
reckon
long.
if you lined them all up and we had a sun kick on grand final day, I reckon he might win it.
Yep, he's a product of the Northern Knights, a Preston boy, and he's come on leaps and bounds. And again, he's got a great build for the game, but has played a fair bit in midfield, played a lot on the bench in the first couple of years of his career. Just starting to blossom, I think.
Very
Again,
long
good
legs.
flexibility, where positional flexibility.
Very long legs, Paul Wheatley. I guess that helps him thump the ball a bit further, but
Well, yeah. I don't sort of look at their legs, Jason, much.
no,
AFL
just
footballers.
look at their general play, Tony, and the legs are, well, that's more than half the body. Here's Uze. He comes through. Well, it is in Wheatley's case anyway, that's the point. Towards half forward. Fixed up. Sees it to the line.
I knew there was a reason I wasn't a long kick. Those short, stumpy legs.
The ball 60 metres out from Melbourne's goal. They trail by 58 points. We've played 21 minutes in this third term. Saddington in the ruck against Robertson. At ground level, Luke Williams dives in on top of the football. Contains it for the Demons. Will have a bounce right on their forward 50.
Well, we have a look at that picture then in screen, and I don't know how many times we've seen the Swans player come up from the bottom of the pack with the ball at these ball ups. They have been proactive. Melbourne second to the ball most of the day.
Out of the ruck contest this time, it's the Demons through Robertson. Trying to create something out of nothing there. Couldn't do so. And the ball's out of bounds on the full.
Russell Robinson's fifth possession there. Has yet to kick a goal. Vardy's had 3 possessions. Brad Green 6 possessions. Their medium forwards have let him down today.
Barry with the switch of play to Kennelly. Kennelly goes further afield and finds Matthew Nix coming up for his 4th possession. Nix goes towards the wing. Clears Dunkley the target. The back was Williams, didn't sit for him. Crouching there working for Sydney as well. Williams threads the handball through to Jolly, to Ward. Again, pressure from the Swans, forces Ward's kick to half forward.
Great courage.
Nix comes cannoning through.
And he's been reported for charging.
Ben Matthews is the man down.
Let's forget the report at the moment. Let's congratulate this player. Was it Matthews, did you say?
Ben Matthews is the man.
Great courage on this occasion. Doesn't look too well. He is awake though.
Now I'm just watching Barry Hall.
no,
He's run
Barry.
from one end to the other, and he's coming into the congestion here.
Well,
You'd be
this is-
best advised to stay out of it, Barry. He wants to have a word to David Neitz. He's
Not-
made his way through.
Not a lot there that David Neitz could do. That was in the flow of the play. And again, let's congratulate the courage. But Barry Hall, get up the other end of the ground. You've just come back from 5 weeks suspension. That is ridiculous.
And that's what the runner was telling him as well. I think Barry ran down and said to David Neitz, he pointed to the forward line and said, try that at the other end of the ground, pal.
He hasn't got anything to worry about, I don't think, David
No.
Neitz. We saw Wheatley last week get off on one when I think that was on the side. He came in, it was a contest. I don't think David Neitz will have too much to be concerned about. It was just one of those intersections that we see in AFL football. It was a lot of courage there by Matthews backing back and coming across, and Neitz there was getting there virtually at the same time. A hip and shoulder, there was nothing untoward. It was a strong bump as he marked the ball, so I think he'll be fine.
It's a resultant 50-metre penalty. The kick will be taken by Paul Williams as Matthews comes to the bench. Neitz stands the mark about 53 metres out. Williams loads it up. It's better on the run from that distance. Kicks right to the line, and Hall, won't he love that? Plays on, kicks his 7th.
No, free
Umpire
kick.
saying it's a push and a 50-metre against Barry. Barry stands there, flummoxed. And the 50-metre penalty will bring it back to that same position Williams just took the kick from. The push out, the free kick going to Lamb. So it's all happening here at the MCG. The margin's 58 points, but it's certainly heated up the last couple of minutes. Uze has it. He's got a man in space out wide. Chance now for the Demons to build through Wheatley. Wheatley will go towards Whelan at half forward. The kick just cleared him. Bruce turns his man inside out from the boundary line. Goes to the goal square. White at the back. Numbers there for the Swans. They do the disciplined thing and force it through for a rush behind.
Well, that man Dunkley, as we know, coming to the end of his career. And there's Barry Hall in this marking contest. Gee, not a lot in that. Not a hell of a lot.
Extended the arms, though.
Yeah.
Once you extend the arms, it's seen as a push. If you can hold your ground and don't extend the arm, of course, straighten it, then the umpire will let you go.
I think that just emphasised, though, the lack of body strength of Chris Lamb against Barry Hall.
Creswell straight up the centre of the ground. They've done that a lot today, the Sydney Swans. They've had numbers around the ball. Johnston, quiet afternoon. Edge of the centre square, goes wide. He's looking for Williams, got to trap it. Shawble, the tackler. Melbourne squeezed up. They'll share the ball around. Uze smothered off the boot by Kirk. Take two, another smother. Two smothers as Fosdyke comes away from half back. Rockets the ball down, looking for O'Loughlin. He might have been tied up in the tackle. Bizzle didn't take the ball. He was half looking as he was taking the ball, didn't quite take it in the hands. And a ball up 40 metres out. Wayne Schwass is on the boundary.
Ben Matthews is one tough individual. The doctor's just spent a couple of minutes checking him out, giving him the nod. Pat on the head, seems to be okay.
Well, it looks fine there. High then.
Yeah, free kick.
Tried to fend off his opponent. So Melbourne will take the free kick. Fosdyke, too high.
And Wayne, I don't know if Wayne Schwass can hear us again, but I thought I saw Paul Williams on the bench, whether he's having a rest. He's dominated this quarter.
Yes, Paul has been taken off, Tony, just to give him a breather.
So a bit of concern there as the crowd roars for Fosdyke. Could have a bit of heartburn. Brown, back edge of the centre square. Penetrating kick, looking for Bruce. He's got Kennelly to beat. Woden has pounced on it, sets it up. Robinson should kick a goal. Hits the post. Really struggled this afternoon, Russell Robinson, to have any impact on the game. He's just had the 6 possessions. Did take a terrific mark early in the game, but has struggled to really get into the game today. Just a shake of the head. Not his afternoon. Nix to bring the ball back into play. Under 5 minutes left, and Sydney by 56 points. They're led by 31 points at quarter time and 45 points at half time. Big pack of players. Bolton finds Sundquist, the young man from Glenelg, playing his first game. O'Loughlin's the target. He's got it. Now he's given away a free kick. Tony. Well, we'll get your comment in a moment, Tony, because Walsh has got it. Looked like it was a test of strength, and he took a one-hander. Woden, a big transfer of play. He'll be looking for Powell and Robinson. Robinson takes it, the aerialist. Plays on quickly, looking for Wheatley, who can kick the ball a mile. Right on 50. Wanted to take him on to Powell, put him in all sorts of problems. Sydney Swans, they get the numbers. And Kennelly backs himself on the charge. What a talent, this young man. Leaps and bounds this year. Taking a big step. Big bad Barry. Couldn't take it. Whelan on the charge, away from Barry Hall on the stretch. Taken by Williams, he's caught.
Well, that should be 50 metres. If it's not play on and tackling, you can't take the play of the ground. Should be 50 metres.
Good point. Powell needs a kind bounce, got an ugly one. Wants to set it up. Ward presents himself out wide. They backtracked a good 20 metres to Walsh, edge of the centre square. Into the pocket. Here comes Bruce. Thumped away. Great play by Sundquist. Young man enjoying his run at the MCG. Kelly was caught high by Ward. There was no free kick. He's bundled over the line. Kelly looks back in dismay. Raw goes around the ground at the MCG. Plus he gets a pat on the back from Fosdyke.
Well, we're talking about O'Loughlin before, and, well, there's that play on. Now, KB, if that's not play on and you're dragging the ground,
50.
It should be 50 metres.
It's one or the other.
Umpire maybe just giving him the benefit of the doubt there. Sensible umpiring. Powell runs to 48 metres out. Open goal square. Just getting back is Shawble. He'll play on. Kick to open space on the members' side. Chance for Sydney to attack now through Kirk. Kirk towards half forward. He's the youngster again, Sundqvist.
He's
Getting
been
busy.
good.
Fourth touch. O'Loughlin offers a lead, it's ignored. He now goes towards Barry Hall, and why wouldn't you? He's kicked 6, arguably kicked 7.
That was a fair kick by that young boy. He's just a teenager, Sundqvist, Jared Sundqvist. He's done very well.
Tight angle this one, Tony, for a right footer.
Yeah. Oh, look, he's a very good kick, Barry Hall. It wouldn't surprise me if he slots this. He's got to be confident about it, what the day he's had.
Riding high on confidence, Hall from the boundary line. Tries to work it right to left, but just hangs it out to the right-hand side. His first blemish this afternoon. 6 goals, 1 to Barry Hall. And what has been the most exciting return to AFL ranks after a 5-week enforced holiday. Travis Johnston with the kicking in duties. Swans have set a wide zone. Johnston will go straight up the middle. Goes short and finds Ward at defensive 25. It's to play on. Runs so he can kick over the zone. Does exactly that and finds Williams on centre wing. Swans streaming back in numbers. Uze receives the handball and then kicks towards the 50. White's his target. Doesn't take a lot of contested marks, Jeff White. And the ball spills out of bounds. In fact, 89% of Jeff White's marks this year uncontested. He's high up on the AFL marks tally, but they are uncontested marks he takes around the ground. There's his opponent for most of the afternoon, Adam Goods.
KB, you saw that handball from Luke Williams to Uze. By not kicking the ball, that means the defenders can get back and man up the forwards. Even that extra handball.
And the Swans are good at getting numbers back, particularly today.
Bruce went looking for Uze. Was he taken low in the tackle? Umpire said no, play on, and then out of bounds on the full. McPherson with the resultant free kick. Uze points to his foot and says, what's that?
A lot of times senior players will just call the ball off inexperienced teammates just to get another statistic, but it doesn't help the team.
So Fixter has it. His 7th possession coming up. Calling for his teammates as he wants to kick it long to the wing. Barry Hall has led all the way down to centre wing. Now doubles back. Kick drops short. Travis Johnston read it the best for the Demons. He'll pump them forward into attack again. Vardy will have to come on the long lead. Got one hand to it almost. Fixter again. Has it inside defensive 50. This time he'll switch play rather than kick straight down the line. Creswell. He can go further afield to the outer side and find Fosdyke. 40 seconds remaining in the term. Chip short to Kennelly. The Swans just look content to sit on this one and run it down to 3/4 time. There's the turnover kick though. It's what they were trying to avoid. It's picked up by Bizzle. Bizzle goes looking for Robertson. The Swans defence are out of position, but they'll still win the day through Creswell. Loops a handball over the top to the run of Fosdyke. He's got a man short on the outer wing. Uses him now, and that man is Paul Kelly. 10th touch for the skipper. The lead from O'Loughlin. He honours that lead. Kick dropped short. O'Loughlin kept his body over the ball, did well. Sundqvist to Kelly as the siren sounds for 3/4 time. It's Sydney 17-5, 107. Leading the Demons 7-8-50. The margin at the final change, 57 points. Was 31 at quarter time, 45 at half time. And the Swans added 5 goals to Melbourne's 3 in that term to extend their margin at the final change to 57 points.